The curious life of Schlitzie Simon Metz was born in either 1901 or 1909, depending on which records you believe. But the world never really knew him by his birth name. To circus-goers, carnival crowds, and the millions who eventually saw him on film, he was Schlitzie Surtees, the last of the pinheads. Schlitzie had microcephaly, a condition that left him with a small skull, developmental delays, and a childlike personality. He never grew beyond 4 feet tall, spoke only in short, repetitive phrases, and adored bright dresses, which showmen claimed made him look like a little girl. In truth, the dresses were practical. They made it easier to change him quickly during long circus days. For decades, Schlitzie traveled with sideshows, vaudeville acts, and even Hollywood films. His most famous appearance came in Tod Browning's Freaks, 1932, where audiences were captivated by his innocent giggles and wide-eyed wonder. Unlike the grotesque villains of the story, Schlitzie radiated purity. To many, he stole the film. But behind the laughter and applause was a legal tangle. Schlitzie could not live independently. He needed someone to clothe him, feed him, guide him through daily life. For years, that person was George Surtees, a chimpanzee trainer who became his legal guardian. Surtees treated Schlitzie not just as a ward, but as family, making sure he was cared for and still able to perform, because Schlitzie loved the crowds. When Surtees died in the 1960s, the court suddenly had to decide what would happen to Simon Metz, a man who was both beloved performer and dependent child. He was briefly placed into a Los Angeles hospital, where doctors tried to imagine a life for him without the stage. But reports say he became depressed, withdrawn, almost unrecognizable without the midway lights and the laughter of strangers. One fellow showman, sword swallower Bill Unks, pushed for Schlitzie's release. He belongs with the Carnival, he argued. Eventually, authorities agreed. Schlitzie returned to the sideshows, where he was once again surrounded by the noise, music, and attention that brought him joy. He performed into his final years, still twirling, still giggling, still clapping at the cheers of the crowd. Simon Metz, Schlitzie Surtees, passed away in 1971 at the age of 70, buried in an unmarked grave until fans later raised money for a headstone. On it, they engraved the name the world remembered, Schlitzie Surtees, the last of the great sideshow performers.